So I'm Abel Combo. I'm Abel Combo. I was born in Mombasa, in Mombasa, in Mtopanga Estate, in Custom in Mombasa. I was born 1983. I'm here. I'm continuing here with Genesis in the Bible. We are reading the Bible today. So it's about Genesis chapter 7 verse 1. We start from there because I did a video and it didn't took very well, and that video didn't took very well from the Genesis 17. So I'm gonna continue with the new video, Genesis 17. So take care. See you. So we have Genesis here in another screen. We have Genesis 17 as you see in the screen here. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a little bit larger. Wait a minute. And I'm gonna make it I'm trying to make now I'm going to the settings so that I can make the front size large a little bit. It was like 30 now. Well, let's see if we can put 35, 34. So you guys, you can see. I hope you can see you guys here. So let's start again. Genesis 17. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God, walk before me and be thou perfect. Genesis 17 verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and you, and will multiply you exceedingly. Yeah. Genesis 17:3. And Abram fell on his face and looked on his face, and God talked with him, saying in chapter 4, as for me, behold, verse 4, as for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. So you gonna be a father of many nations. This is what God said to Abraham. You're gonna be a father of many nations. That is in chapter 17, 17 verse 4. Now we are going chapter 7. We are going 17 verse 5. Neither shall thee name any more be called Abram. Okay, your name will be not called Abram, but your name shall be called Abraham. For father of many nations have I made you. Yeah. So Genesis 17:6. And I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nation over thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Genesis 17:7. And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your seed after thee in their generation of an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto you, and to your seed after you. And I will give unto you and to the seed after you the land wherein thou art a stranger. So here is going to give this land to Abraham because he's a stranger also in this land, but God is going to give him this land. All the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. 17 verse 9. And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, thou and this seed after thee in their generation. We are going to chapter 17 verse 10. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and your seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. So here is the beginning of circumcision of human being, you know. Genesis 17 verse 11, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant between betwixt me and you, between me and you. Genesis 17 verse 12, and he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised. So that means every child who is 8 years old is supposed to be circumcised. This is what the Bible says. And he that is 8 days, and he that is 8 days, 8 days, not even years, 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generation. He that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of their seed. So that means when your baby is born today and you believe in the Bible, that baby, when he's 8 years old, when he's 8 days old, is supposed to be circumcised. 8 days, not years, 8 days is supposed to be circumcised. This is what the Bible says. And that means for generation and generation from Abraham. That means till today, 2021. So Genesis 17 verse 13. He that is born in the house and he that is bought with the money must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. Genesis 17 14. And the uncircumcised man child, who is flesh of his foreskin, is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He had broken my covenant. You hear? That is very, very hard. So you have to cut off. The soul shall be cut off from his people. So I hope a pastor will, somebody who very good study Bible. I will ask somebody who has to explain me this Genesis 17 verse 14. Yeah, because it's very hard. And Genesis 17 15. And God said unto Abram, as for Sarai your wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. Genesis 17 16. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of kings people shall be over her. So okay, here, so that means now that means here the wife of Abraham will get his first son, because the wife, he couldn't bear children. Yeah. So but now God is saying he opened the womb of the mother so that he can bring children again, because he couldn't bring children. So Genesis 17 verse 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old, and shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? So here Abraham laughed because he is 100 years and his wife is 90 years. And he laughed because how can 90 years old woman bring children in the world? And how could 100 years old man make pregnant to his 90 years wife and become pregnant? Yeah? So he laughed. And now Genesis 17 verse 18. And Abram said unto God, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. So here, because he's old and his wife is old, he just say, can you just leave Ishmael to be my son and take over all things which I have? And here, and Genesis 17 verse 19, this is what God said. And God said, Sarah your wife shall bear you a son indeed, and you shall call his name Isaac. So here God is saying, your wife, even she's 90 years old, she will bring a son. She'll become pregnant. And that son which is pregnant, you have to call him Isaac. And I will establish my covenant. And here he said, God, this covenant, it will go to Isaac, not to Ishmael. Okay? That is Genesis 17, verse 19. He will establish his covenant with the Isaac, not Ishmael. Okay? With him for an everlasting covenant, and he will make that everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him, and also the generation of Isaac will be everlasting covenant. The seed of Isaac, the generation of Isaac, as we read here. So Genesis 17:20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee, behold, I have blessed him, and I will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. Okay, so now here, God he had Ishmael, and he said that he will multiply him fruitfully. He will multiply him exceedingly with 12 princes. So in Saudi Arabia we have 12 princes there, prince, and it's like that. It's written in the Bible, and it's also in Saudi Arabia. I think there's some 12 prince. So it's the way it's written, and it's right now like that. So Genesis 17:21. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac. You see here, he say the covenant. The covenant of God will establish by Isaac, not by Ishmael. Ishmael was blessed and fruitful, but no covenant with him. Only covenant with Isaac. This is what God said. Which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. So Genesis 17:22, verse 22, and he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abram. Genesis 17:23, and Abram took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abram's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the self-same day, as God had said unto him. Genesis 17, verse 24. And Abram was 90 years old and 99 years old and 9. Okay, 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. Genesis 17, verse 25. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. Genesis 17:26. In the self-same day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son. Genesis 17:27. And all the men of his house born in the house and bought with money of the stranger were circumcised with him. So we are going Genesis 18. Genesis 18 Genesis 18 verse 1. Let me see something here first. I want to look something here if it's still working. Yes, it's still working. So Genesis 18 verse 1. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. Genesis 18 verse 2. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him, and when he saw them, he ran to meet them, from the tent door and bowed himself toward the ground. Genesis 18 verse 3, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thee sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from your servant. Genesis 18 verse 4, let a little water, I pray for you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourself under the tree. Genesis 18:5, and I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts, and comfort your hearts. So he will make bread and comfort them their hearts. After that you shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. So you came to my servant. The servant is Abraham. And they said, so do as thou hast said. So you can do what you said. This is what the angel said to Abraham. Genesis 18:6, and Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah. So Abraham went to the tent to Sarah and said, make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal. So you have to, he rushed to the tent to tell Sarah to make meal. Knead it and make cakes upon the bread. So to make cakes upon bread, yeah. Genesis 18:7, and Abraham ran unto the head and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it. So he went to the, to go and to fetch the calf, so we can make meal. Genesis 18:8, and he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. So he brought the meal under the tree, and the angels eat with Abraham under the tree. Okay. Genesis 18:9, and they said unto him, where is Sarah your wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. So he said, my wife is in the tent, is in the house inside. Genesis 18:10, and he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and lo, Sarah your wife shall have a son. And Sarah had it in the tent door which was behind him. So Genesis 18 verse 11, now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Okay, so Sarah, they were very, very old, so 99 years, and Sarah, I think she's also, they are very, very old. Genesis 18:12, therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also. So Sarah here, she laughed because she's old. How can an old woman become pregnant? This is why she laughed, And Genesis 18:13, and the Lord said unto Abram, the angel said to Abram, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of surety bear a child which am old? Genesis 18 verse 14, is anything too hard for the Lord? Lord, for him anything is God, he can do everything. Even you're old, he can make you stronger. God can do everything. God he can have children even without a woman. Not like God in the Quran, that the God of Quran, he don't have a child because what? Because he don't have a woman. Here God, look what is the God say. Is anything too hard for the Lord? So that means there's nothing hard to the Lord here. He can do everything. He can have a child without a woman. There's nothing hard to the Lord here. Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. So here God is saying everything is not hard for me. Even when your wife is too old, I'm gonna give your wife a son. She's gonna be pregnant and she's gonna bring a son, because God can do everything. So Genesis 18:15. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Now, no, but thou didst laugh. No, but you laughed. This is what the God said to the angels, because God used angels to speak with humans. You understand? So Genesis 18:16. And the men rose up from thence and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. So so Abraham went with them, because I think they were going to Sodom, because they were looking to I don't know, but here they look toward to Sodom. So Genesis 18:17. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Genesis 18:18. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nation of the earth shall be blessed in him. Genesis 18:19. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he had spoken of him. Okay. Genesis 18:20. And the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great. Here Sodom and Gomorrah is a city of too much homosexual. Homosexual is started here from Sodom and Gomorrah. Homosexual for today, you see today in the world, that is new. That is not new. It's for a long time ago. 4,000 years there, I don't know. 4,000 to 4,000 years there. 4,000 or 5,000 years there. And the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous. Yeah. Genesis 18:21. I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. Genesis 18:22. And the men turned their face from the thence and went toward Sodom. You see, I told you they were going toward Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before the Lord. So Genesis 18:23. And Abraham drew near. Abraham came near and said, Will thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? So here he said to God, if he will destroy the good people and the bad people together. Genesis 18:23. And Abraham drew 23 and 24. Genesis 18:20 verse 24. Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Will thou also destroy and not spare the place of the 50 righteous that are there? So Genesis 18:25. That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, and that be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Genesis 18:26. And the Lord said, If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place of their sake. Genesis 18:27. And Abraham answered and said, Behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. Genesis 18:28. Peradventure there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Will you go and destroy all the city of lack of 5? And he said, If I found there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again and said, Peradventure there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40 sake. And he said unto him, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it, if I found 30 there. And he said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy. And God said, He will never destroy if He found 20 who are righteous. And he said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy 20 sake. And he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. This is Genesis 18:30, verse 32. Now we are going verse 33. And the Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham. And Abraham returned unto his place. So now we are going Genesis capital 19. Genesis capital 19, as you see here, verse 1. And there come two angels to Sodom at even. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot seeing them rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold now, my Lord, turn in, I pray you, into your servant house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early, and go on your ways. And they said, No, but we will abide in the street all night. This is Genesis 19 verse 2. Now we are going to verse 3. And he pressed upon the greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house. And he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. Genesis 19:4. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house around, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. Genesis 19 verse 5. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which come into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. So here, the old city, they were homosexual. They wanted to sleep with those angels. They were those men. So you see how this evil started of homosexual. They went to Lot because Lot was righteous. He was believing in God. He was with wife. He have children. So listen what Lot would tell them. Because they don't love women. They are homosexual. So now what Lot gonna do to them? And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him. Okay. Genesis 19 verse 7. And said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. So he tell them, don't do so wickedly, wicked thing. I want to sleep with my guests. You are forcing, you want to force to do your wicked, dirty thing. So this is Genesis 19 verse 8. Behold now, I have 2 daughters. Now you want to make them to become man. He tell them, I have 2 daughters. Please take my daughters and have love with them. So here is Lot. He want to bring them back to be a man again, to love men, to love women, and not to have sex with men, but sex with women, and to make children and to marry like a normal human being. So behold now, I have 2 daughters, which I have not known man. Let me, I pray for you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore come they under the shadow of my roof. So here, he said he's going to bring his two daughters outside, so you can make love with my two daughters, but leave my guests, and leave my guests because they are under my roof, they're under my shadow, you understand? So Genesis 19:9, and they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow come in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with you than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and come near to break the door. So they wanted to come near to break the door, to go inside and do their evil thing. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them, and shut to the door. So the angels, they pulled Lot inside the house and they closed the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness. So those homosexual, they were, the angels, they make all those people to become blind, so they don't see nothing. So they become blind. When you're blind, you cannot see nothing, you cannot do nothing. You cannot fight. Somebody will beat you up. So he make all those homosexual blind, both small and great, so that they worried themselves to find the door. So they couldn't find the door to go inside and make some evil thing. So God will make them blind, because God is against homosexual. This shows already here, God is against homosexual people. So if you're homosexual, you are in trouble at the end of when Jesus comes. You are going to hell, 100%. You're going to scream in the hell. So Genesis 19:12, and the man said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides son-in-law, and the sons and their daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. So you have to go outside in the city, because that city is too much of dirtiness, too much of homosexual people, too much, in the government is homosexual and all that, the whole system there is lesbianism, feminism, homosexual is the city like that, like today in America, even in the part of Europe. In some countries in Europe, there's some homosexual people in the cities, lesbianism, feminism. God will tell not to go out away from that place because it's too much sin. So let's continue. Genesis 19 verse 13. For we will destroy this place. Now God is saying He's gonna destroy that country. You understand? He will destroy that place of homosexual, lesbianism, feminism, and even the government there is also the same. So God here, He said He's going to destroy. That is Genesis 19 verse 13. He will going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is wax great before the face of the Lord. And the Lord had sent us to destroy it. So the Lord is sent these angels to destroy this place because they are too much homosexual. So when your country and the government is saying that homosexual is no problem, you can do what you want to do, you can marry who you want to marry, God, He destroyed that place. This is the message now. So you have to know God is against homosexual, lesbianism, feminism, and all that. This is the He gonna destroy. So you know that the government today in this world, they make it to be acceptable in their own country that homosexual is acceptable. A man can marry, a woman can marry, and feminism. So when a government is so evil, we don't have to follow the government because it have evil fruits in it. So Genesis 19 verse 14. And the Lord went out and spake unto his son-in-law, which married his daughters. You know, even he wanted to make those homosexuals to love women. He wanted to give them his own daughter, so that they can become men again. You know. And Lot went out and spake unto his son-in-law, which married his daughter, and said, Up, get you out of this place. So God tell Lot to go out in this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. Genesis 19:15. And when the morning arose, then the angels hasted Lot, saying, Arise, take the wife and the 2 daughters which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. So here, now is Lot. You have to now the angels, they come to Lot in the morning, and he told Lot in the morning to wake up in the morning and run away from this city, because it's gonna be burned. The fire will come from heaven and burn the city, and burn the city and the old government, which is too much evil inside there. He's going to burn everything, all of them. So Genesis 19:16. And while he lingered, the man laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters. So Lot, you have 2 daughters here, because now he have to go away from that place, and to another place where there's no people like them. There's no human, maybe also, to another country with no human inside. Maybe, I don't know, but we're gonna see. We're gonna read it. Take your daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. So wait a minute, I want to see if it is still recording. Yes. Genesis 19:17. And it come to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. So here, let me tell you something. Here something will happen. So here, Lot, the angels tell Lot to escape and don't look behind. When you look behind, you don't look behind. When you escape, don't ever look behind. Don't look behind you. When you escape, don't look behind. So, let's continue. Let's see what happened. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my Lord. Behold now, the servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified the mercy which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life, and I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Genesis 19:20, verse 20. Behold now, this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. Genesis 19:21. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted you concerning this thing, also that I will not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken. Genesis 19:22. Hast thee escape? So rush, rush and escape. For I cannot do anything till thou become thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. So I think they are going to Zoar or something like that. Genesis 19:23. The sun was rise upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. So they went to the land called Zoar. Lot with his children, with his daughter, they landed there in the land of Zoar. Genesis 19 verse 24. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon and Gomorrah upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. So here, he rained. He brought rain of fire in that city, the city of homosexuals, lesbianism, things. So he brought a rain of fire. And those rain of fire like stone with brimstones. So, a rain with fire. The stone of fire, the rain in that country. Genesis 19 verse 25. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the city and that which grew upon the ground. Genesis 19 verse 26. But his wife looked back. Okay, now listen here. Now look, the wife, when God say, run but don't look back. But the wife of Lot, he looked back. See what happened when he looked back. But his wife looked back from behind him and she became a pillar of salt. So, she became a pillar of salt, So she became a altar, like a status of salt. Because, God said don't look back, but the wife, she looked back when the homosexual and lesbianism and things, they were burning, the city was burning. She looked back. Oh, God, he said don't look back. But only his wife, he looked back. So after looking back, she turned to be a stone, a human stone, a sculpture of a human with a salt. So, she looked back. I don't know why she did that. So Genesis 19:27. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. Genesis 19:28. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain. And behold, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. So here, when we wake up, when Abraham woke up early, he saw the Sodom and Gomorrah from far burning. I mean, the smoke, it's already burned, but the smoke is coming out. So you know what that means, what God said. God is showing us is against homosexual. So don't say, oh, you against homosexual. God is against homosexual. The God Almighty, the one who creates all human beings, he's against homosexual. Homosexual, against lesbianism, against feminism, against all those what is happening today in this world. So Genesis 19 verse 29. And it came to pass when God destroyed the city of the plain that God remembered Abraham and sent Lot out of the middle of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelt. So Genesis 19:30. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain, and his two daughters with him, for he feared to dwell in the Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave. So he dwelt in a cave, in a cave. He and his two daughters. Genesis 19:31. And the firstborn said unto younger. So now here the daughters, they are talking. The daughters of Lot. Because Lot didn't want to live in Zoar. Why? Because he didn't want to live there. So he went to live alone in the cave, in the mountain, in the cave. Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. So here, the daughters, they say to themselves that there is no other man here because because Lot didn't want to live in the city of in Zoar. So he come out from the city of Zoar. So the daughters, they wanted to bring new generation here. So the only thing what they have to do is to sleep with their own father, because they say their father is old and there is no other man. Not God is say that they have to sleep with their father. You understand what I mean? God didn't say that. God didn't say that not, can you sleep with your daughters? So here, the Muslim people, they always say here, how can not sleep with their daughters? But here, when we read here in Genesis 19:31, God did say not to sleep with his daughter. Their daughters, they were planning to sleep with his father, because his father is going old, and there's no man who's going to make them pregnant. So the only person going to make them pregnant to bring new children in the country, to bring new generation, the only place is to sleep with the father. And there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all earth. You see, because the city was burned, everybody's dead, and they cannot go back there in the city, and not, you don't want to live in Zoar, okay? So now what they say, what the daughter of Lot said in Genesis 19 verse 32, come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him. So they make the father to become drunk, to be drunk, so that they can sleep with their father. So they wanted his father to become drunk, so that they can sleep with his father, that we may preserve seed of our father, so that they can bring new seed, new generation. Seed is a generation. Genesis 19:33, and they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. So the father didn't know. He didn't know here that he slept with his the firstborn. So Genesis 19:34, and it came to pass on the morrow, in the next day, that the firstborn said unto the young one, behold, I lie yesterday night with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. So now the older sister, he tell to the younger sister to go, we're gonna make our father today also to drink too much wine, so that in the night his younger sister to sleep with his father, to become so that they can bring new seed of the family. This is Genesis 19 verse 34. Genesis 19 verse 35. And they made their father drunk wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. So the younger daughter, she went and slept with the father. This is Genesis 19 verse 35. So we're going Genesis 19 verse 36. Thou were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. So they become pregnant with the children of their father. You understand? Genesis 19 37. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. And the same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. So, and Genesis 19:38, and the younger, she also bare a son, and called his name Benami. The same is the father of the children of the Ammon unto this day. So we are going Genesis 20 verse 1. And Abram journeyed from thence towards the south country, and dwelled between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. Genesis 20 verse 2. And Abram said of Sarah his wife, also Abram told Sarah, he said to Sarah his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech king of Gerar sent and took Sarah. Genesis 20 verse 3. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, behold, thou art but thou art but a dead man. For the woman which you hast taken, for she is a man's wife. Genesis 20 verse 4. But Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Lord, will thou slay also a righteous nation? Genesis 20 verse 5. Said he not unto me, she is my sister? And even she herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and in innocency of my hands have I done this. Genesis 20 verse 6. Genesis 20 verse 6. And God said unto him in a dream, Yea, I know that you did this in the integrity of the heart. For I also withheld you from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Genesis 20 verse 7. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for you, and you should live. And if you restore her not, now thou shalt surely die, you and all that are thine. You are all that are yours. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears, and then men were so afraid. The Abimelech called Abram and said unto him, What hast you done unto us? And what have I offended you, that you hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin? You hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abram, What sawest you that you hast done this thing? And Abram said, Because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. Genesis 20 verse 12. And yet indeed she is my sister, she is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. Okay. And she is become my wife. Okay, so here is the same father but different mother. Okay. Genesis 20 verse 13. And it came to pass, when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said unto her, This is thine kindness which you shall shew unto me. And every place whither we shall come, say of me, he is my brother. Genesis 20 verse 14. And Abimelech took sheep and oxen and men's servants and a woman's servants, and gave them unto Abram, and restored him Sarah his wife. Genesis 20 verse 15. And Abimelech said, Behold, my land is before you, dwell where it pleaseth you. Genesis 20 verse 16, and unto Sarah he said, behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to thee a covering of the eyes unto all that are with thee. And with all other, thus she was reproved. Genesis 20 verse 17. So Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his maid servants, and they bare children. So wait a minute, I want to see if it's still recording. Yes. Total time is 55 minutes. So Genesis 20 verse 17. So Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech and his wife and his maid servants, and they bare children. Genesis 20 verse 18. For the Lord had first closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Okay. Genesis, so we are going to Genesis capital 21 verse 1. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. Genesis 21 verse 2. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. Genesis 21 verse 3. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. Now here Isaac is born, okay? So here Isaac is born, yeah? And Genesis 21 verse 4. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. Genesis 21 verse 5. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. Genesis 21 verse 6. And Sarah said, God had made me to laugh, so that all that here will laugh with me. So, Isaac, the meaning of Isaac, his name is laugh. God laugh. And Sarah said, God had made me laugh, so that all that here will laugh with me. Genesis 21 verse 7. And she said, whom would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age. Genesis 21 verse 8. And the children grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. Genesis 21 verse 9. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. So here, here you see the behavior of Ismailis, the Arabs, the child, he started mocking his brother. That is how they are doing till today, mocking Christians, and all that. So you see the behavior of Arab and Islam and all that. They are mocking. You see here, they write mocking. They like to mock and to say Bible is gefälscht, is false, Bible is this. They always like to mock. Genesis verse 21. Genesis 21 verse 10. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be here with my son, even with Isaac. So the wife of Abraham, Sarah, he said, no, you cannot stay. We cannot stay with this mocking child here. Always like to mock his brother and all mocking around. So you need to cast this child out from the family. Genesis 21 verse 11, and the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. Genesis 21 verse 12, and God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in your sight, because of the lad, and because of the bondwoman, in all that Sarah had said unto you, hear unto her voice, for in Isaac shall your seed be called. So God, he talked to Abraham, because first Abraham, he said, when the wife of Abraham, Sarah, he told Abraham to remove this Ishmael away from the family. Abraham was also angry. How can you remove my son Ishmael? So God came to Abraham in Genesis 21 verse 12. He came to Abraham and he told Abraham, you have to hear your wife Sarah. What she said, when she said you remove Ishmael from the family here, Ishmael not supposed to live here, remove him away from here, because he's mocking child, he's always like to mock, remove him away. So God is saying, you hear that, you do what your wife said. Genesis 21 verse 13, and also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is your seed. So God is saying, don't worry, I will make Ishmael a nation, because he is your seed. Because Ishmael is a seed of Abraham. You have a blood of Abraham, Ishmael, Genesis 21 verse 14. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder and the child, and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. So this is Genesis 21 verse 14. Genesis, now we're going to verse 15. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. Genesis 31 verse 16. And she went and sat her down over against him a good way off, as it were a bow shot. For she said, let me not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him, and lifted up her voice and wept. Genesis 19 and Genesis 21 verse 12 verse 17. And God heard the voice of the lad, and the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, what I let thee? I don't understand this word. What I let thee? Hagar, fear not, for God had heard the voice of the lad where he is. Genesis 21 verse 18. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation. Genesis 21 verse 19. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad drink. Genesis 21:20. And God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness, and became a Arka. Don't know how we call this name. Genesis 21 verse 21. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt. So here, now Ishmael, he married a wife from Africa, a dark-skinned wife. in this time there were no Arabs there. So when you see Egypt, there's some Arabs today. When you see Egypt, there's some white skin Egyptians. They didn't come from Ismail, because first Ismail's mother was a dark skin, and Ismail, he married a dark skinned woman, as we see here, because Egypt is a country of dark skinned people. You understand what I mean? So let's continue, just to put that in your head. Genesis 21 verse 22. And it came to pass that time that Abimelech and Pichol, the chief captain of his host, spake unto Abram, saying, God is with you in all that thou does, in all that you do. Genesis 21:23. Now therefore swear unto me here by God that you will not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with my son's sons, but according to the kindness that I have done unto you, you shall do unto me, and do the land wherein though you has sojourned, where you has journeyed, you have journeyed, where you have journeyed. Genesis 21 verse 24. And Abram said, I will swear. Genesis 21 verse 25. And Abram reproved Abimelech because of a well of water, which Abimelech's servants had violently taken away. Genesis 21:26. And Abimelech said, I wot not who had done this thing. Neither did you tell me, neither yet had I of it, neither I have heard of it, but today, Genesis 21 verse 27, and Abram took sheep and oxen, and gave them unto Abimelech, and both of them made a covenant. Genesis 21:28. And Abram set 7 lambs of the flock by themselves. Genesis 21 verse 29. And Abimelech said unto Abram, what mean this? What do you mean with this? With these 7 lambs, which you have set by themselves? Genesis 21 verse 30. And he said, for these 7 lambs shall you take off my hand, that they may be a witness unto me that I have digged this well. Genesis 21 verse 31. Wherefore he called that place Beersheba, because there they swear both of them. Genesis 21 verse 32. Thus they made a covenant at Beersheba, and Abimelech arose up and Pichol, the chief captain of his host, and they returned into the land of the Philistines. This is now we're going to Genesis 21 verse 33. And Abram planted a grove in Beersheba, and called there on the name of the Lord and the everlasting God. Genesis 21 verse 34. And Abram sojourneyed in the Philistines' land many days. So Abram, he journeyed direction Philistines' land, in the Philistines. Okay, so what happened there? Genesis 22 verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that God did tempt Abram, and said unto him, Abram, and he said, behold, I'm here, I am. And Genesis 22 verse 2. And he said, take your son, your only son Isaac, who you love, and get you into the land of Moriah, and offer him there for a burnt offering upon one of the mountain which I will tell you. This is Genesis 22 verse 2. Now we're going Genesis 22 verse 3. And Abram rose up early in the morning, and suddenly his ass, and took 2 of his young men with him, So here God, he was offering Isaac, not Ishmael. Muslim people, they say Ishmael was offered by Abraham, but here in the Bible is saying Isaac is supposed to be offered. So Abraham rose up early in the morning and saddled his ass and took 2 of his young men with him and Isaac his son, not Ishmael his son, because Ishmael is not there. Isaac his son, because Ishmael went away with his mother because they have to go out from the family because Ishmael was a mocking son. So now they stayed there with his son Isaac. So Isaac is supposed to be offered, not Ishmael. And Isaac his son and cleft the wood of the burnt offering and rose up and went unto the place of which God had told him. So we are going to Genesis 22:4. Then on the 3rd day, Abraham lifted up his eyes and saw the place afar off. Genesis 22 verse 5. And Abraham said unto his young men, Abide you here with the ass, and I and the lad will go yonder and worship and come again to you. Genesis 22 verse 6. And Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it upon Isaac his son, and he took their fire in his hand and a knife, and they went both of them together. Genesis 22 verse 7. And Isaac spake unto Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood, but where is the lamp for a burnt offering? So Genesis 22 verse 8. And Abraham said, My son, God will provide himself a lamp for a burnt offering. So they went both of them together. Genesis 22 verse 9. And they come to the place which God had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham, Genesis verse 22 verse 10. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son. Genesis 22 verse 11. And the angel of the Lord called unto him out of heaven, and said, Abram, Abram. And he said, Here I am. Genesis 22 verse 12. And he said, Lay not your hand upon your son, neither do not anything unto him. For now I know that you fear God, seeing you has not withheld your son, thine only son from me. Genesis 22 verse 13. And Abram lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, behind him a ram caught in a thicket by his horns. And Abram went and took the ram and offered him up for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. Genesis chapter 22 verse 15. And the angel of the Lord called unto Abram out of heaven the second time, and said, By myself I have sworn said the Lord, for because you has done this thing, and has not withheld your son, your only son, that in blessing I will bless you, and in the multiply I will multiply your seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand which is upon the seashore. And your seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. Genesis 22:18. And in the seed shall all the nation of the earth be blessed, because you has obeyed my voice. So Abram returned unto his young men, and they arose up and went together to Beersheba, and Abram dwelt at Beersheba. Genesis 22 verse 20. And it came to pass after these things that it was told Abram, saying, Behold, Milcah, she has also borne children unto your brothers Nahor. Genesis 22 verse 21. And has his firstborn, and Baz his brother, and Kemuel the father of Aram. Genesis 22 verse 22. And Chest, and Hazor, and Pildash, and Pidlaf, and Bethuel. Genesis 22 verse 23. And Bethuel begat Rebekah. These 8 Milcah did bear to Nahor, Abram brother. Genesis 22 verse 24. And his concubine, whose name was Ruma, she bare also Teba, and Gaham, the Tahash, and Makkah. So now we are in Genesis 23 verse 1. And Sarah was 107 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Genesis 23 verse 2. And Sarah died in Kirjataba. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abram came to mourn for Sarah, and to weep for her. And Abram stood up from before his dead, and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. Genesis 23 verse 5. And the children of Heth answered Abram, saying unto him, verse 6, Hear us, my Lord. Thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres, bury your dead. None of us shall we withhold from you his sepulchre. But that thou mayest bury your dead. Genesis 23 verse 7. And Abram stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. Genesis 23 verse 8. And he communed with them, saying, if it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and entreat for me to Ephron the son of Zohar. So wait a minute, I have to look here something. Genesis 23 verse 9. That he may give me the cave of Machpelah with he have, which is in the end of his field, for as much money as it is worth, he shall give it me for a possession of a burying place among you. Genesis 23 verse 10. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abram in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in that the gate of his city, saying, Genesis 23 verse 11, no, my Lord, hear me, the field I will give you, and the cave that is therein I give it you. In the presence of the sons of my people give I it you. I will give it to you. Bury your dead. So here he's saying to bury his dead, to bury his wife. Genesis 23 verse 12. And Abram bowed down himself before the people of the land. And he spake unto Ephron in the audience of the people of the land, saying, but if you will give it, I pray you, I'll pray for you here, I pray you, hear me. I will give you money for the field, take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. Genesis 23:14. And Ephron answered Abram, saying unto him, Genesis and verse 15 now, my Lord, hear unto me, hear me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. That is that betwixt me and you. Bury therefore the dead. Genesis 23:16. And Abram hear unto Ephron, and Abram weighed to Ephron the silver, which he had named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant. Genesis 23 verse 17. And the field of Ephron, which was in the Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field and the cave which was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all the borders round about, were made sure. Genesis 23:18. Unto Abram, for I possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in at the gate of his city. Genesis 23 verse 19. And after this, Abram buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. Genesis 23 verse 20. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abram for possession of a burying place by the son of Heth. So now we are going to Genesis capital 24 verse 1. And Abram was old and well strict in age, and the Lord had blessed Abram in all things, And Abram said unto his eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray thee, your hand under my thigh. Genesis 24 verse 3. And I will make you swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that you shall not take a wife unto my sons of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. So here Abraham used to dwell of Canaanites. And Canaanites, they are dark-skinned people. So Abraham also, when he lived there, I think is the same color like those Canaanites. Because Canaanites, they are dark-skinned people in the Bible. So Genesis 24 verse 4. But thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. Genesis 24 verse 5. And the servant said unto him, peradventure the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I needs bring your son again unto the land from where you came? Genesis 24 6. Genesis 24 verse 6. And Abram said unto him, beware though that you bring not my son thither again. Don't bring my son here again, where they are living in the Lord God of heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me, and that sware unto me, saying, unto my seed will I give this land. He shall send his angel before you, and you shall take a wife unto my son from thence. Genesis 24 verse 8. And if the woman will not be willing to follow you, then you shall be clear from this my oath, only bring not my son here again. Genesis 24 9. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abram his master, and swear to him concerning that matter. Genesis 24:10. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master, and departed, for all the goods of his master were in his hand. And he arose and went to Mesopotamia, unto the city of Nahor. Genesis 24:11. And he made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water at the time of the evening. Even the time that women go out to draw water. Genesis 24:12. And he said, O Lord God of my master Abram, I pray you, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abram. Genesis 24:13. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city came out to draw water. Genesis 24 verse 14. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down the pitcher, I pray to you, that I may drink, and she shall say, drink. And I will give you camels, I will give my camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou hast appointed for the servant Isaac. And thereby shall I know that thou hast showed kindness unto my master. Genesis 24:15. And it came to pass, before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebekah came out, whom was born to Bethuel, son of Milcah, the wife of Nahor, Abram's brother, with her pitcher upon her shoulder. Genesis 24:16, and he damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man know her. And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. Genesis 24:17, and the servant ran to meet her and said, let me, I pray to you, drink a little water of my pitcher. Genesis 24:18, and she said, drink, my lord. And she hasted and let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him drink. Genesis 24:19, and when she had done giving him drink, he said, I will draw water for the camels also, until they have done drink. Genesis 24:20, and she hasted and emptied her pitcher into the trough and ran again unto the well to draw water, and drew for all his camels. Genesis 24:21, and the man wondering at how held his peace, to wit whether the Lord had made his journey prosperous or not. Genesis 24:22, and it came to pass, as the camels had done drinking, that the man took a golden earring of half a shekel weight, and 2 bracelets of her hands of 10 shekels weight of gold. Genesis 24:23, and said, whose daughter art you? Who is your which daughter is you? For who is your are you daughter from who? From who is you as a daughter? Tell me, I pray for you. I pray thee, is there room in father's house for us to lodge in? Genesis 24:24, and she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, which she bare unto Nahor. Genesis 24:25, she said moreover unto him, we have bought straw and provided enough, and room to lodge in. Genesis 24:26, and the man bowed down his head and worshipped the Lord. Genesis 24:27, and he said, blessed be the Lord God of my master Abram, who have not left destitute my master of his mercy and his truth. I being in the way, the Lord led me to the house of my master's brethren. Genesis 24:28, and the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. Genesis 24:29, and Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man unto the well. Genesis 24:30, and it came to pass, when he saw earring and bracelet upon his sister's hands, and when he heard the words of Rebekah his sister, saying, thus spake the man unto me, that he came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels at the well. Genesis 24:31, and he said, come in, you though blessed of the Lord, whereof standest thou without? For I have prepared the house and room for the camels. Genesis 24:32, and the man came into the house, and he ungirded his camels, and gave straw and proved for the camels, and water. to wash his feet and the men's feet that were with him. Genesis 24:33. And there was set meat Genesis 24:33. And there was set meat before him to eat, but he said, I will not eat until I have told my errand. And he said, speak on. Genesis 24:34. And he said, I am Abraham's servant. We go to verse 35. And the Lord had blessed my master greatly, and he is become great, and he had given him flocks and heads and silver and gold and men servants and maid servants and camels and asses. Genesis 24:36. And Sarah, my master wife, bare a son to my master when she was old, and unto him had he given all that he have. Genesis 24:37. And my master made me swear, saying, you shall not take a wife to my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I dwell. Genesis 24:38. But thou shalt go unto my father's house and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son. Genesis 24:39. And I said unto my master, peradventure the woman will not follow me. Genesis 24:40. And he said unto me, the Lord before whom I walk will send his angel with thee, and prosper the way, and you shall take the wife for my sons of my kindred and of my father's house. Genesis 24:41. Then should you be clear from this my oath, when you come to my kindred, and if they give not you one, you shall be clear from my oath. Genesis 24:42. And I come this day unto the well, and I said, O Lord God of my master Abraham, if now thou do prosper, if you now do prosper my way which I go. Genesis 24:43. Behold, I stand by the well of water, and it shall come to pass that when the virgin come forth to draw water, and I saw to her, and I see her, give me, I pray to you, a little water of the pitcher to drink. Genesis 24:44. And she said to me, both drink thou, and I will also draw for thee camels. Let the same be the woman whom the Lord had appointed out for my master's son. Genesis 24:45. And before I had done speaking in my heart, behold, Rebekah came forth with her pitcher on her shoulder, and she went down unto the well and drew water. And I said unto her, let me drink, I pray thee. I'm begging you, let me drink. Genesis 24:46. And she went rash and let down her pitch from her shoulder, and said, drink, and I will give you camels drink. I'll give your camels to drink too. So I drank, and she made my camels to drink also. Genesis 24:47. And I asked her and said, whose daughter? Which daughter are you? From which daughter is you? And she said, the daughter of Bethuel. Nahor's son, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put the earring upon her face, and the bracelets upon her hands. Genesis 24:48. And I bowed down my head and worshipped the Lord, and blessed the Lord God of my master Abraham, which had led me in the right way to take my master brother's daughter unto his son. Genesis 24:49. And now if he will deal kindly and truly with me, with my master, tell me, and if not, tell me, then I may turn to the right hand or to the left. Genesis 24:50. Then Laban and Bethuel answered and said, the thing proceeded from the Lord. We cannot pick unto thee bad or good. Genesis 24:51. Behold, Rebekah is before you. Rebekah is before you. Rebekah is yours. Take her and go and let her be the master's son's wife, as the Lord had spoken. Genesis 24:52. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard their words, he worshipped the Lord, bowing himself to the earth. Genesis 24:53. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment, and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things. Genesis 24:54. And they did eat and drink, he and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning, and he said, send me away unto my master. Genesis 24:55. And her brother and her mother said, let the damsel abide with us a few days, at the least 10. After that she shall go. Genesis 24:56. And he said unto them, hinder me not, seeing the Lord had prospered my way. Send me away that I may go to my master. Genesis 24:57. And they said, we will call the damsel and inquire at her mouth. Genesis 24:58. And they called Rebekah and said unto her, wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. Genesis 24:59. And they went away, Rebekah their sister and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. Genesis 24:60. And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, thou art our sister, you is our sister. Be thou the mother of thousands of millions, and let your seed possess the gate of those which hate them. Genesis 24:61. And Rebekah rose and her damsel, and they rode upon the camel. They followed the man, and the servant took Rebekah and went his way. Wait a minute, I want to look how many minutes? It's 1 hour 43. Genesis 24:62. And Isaac came from the way of the well Lahiroi, for he dwelt in the south country. Genesis 24:63. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at this eventide. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, a camel were coming. Genesis 24:64. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lifted off the camel. Genesis 24:65. For she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walked in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. Genesis 24:66. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. Genesis 24:67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So Genesis 25 verse 1. Then again Abram took a wife, and her name was what? Then again Abram took a wife, and her name was Keturah. And Genesis 25 verse 2. And she bare him Zimran and Joshan. Okay, Abraham is not dead. Joshan and Medan and Midian and Ishbak and Shua. Genesis 25:3. And Joshan begat Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Ashurim and Letushim and Leumin. Genesis 25 verse 4. And the sons of Midian, Ephah and Epher and Enoch and Abida and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. Genesis 25:5. And Abram gave all that he had unto Isaac. Genesis 25:6. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abram had, Abram gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived eastward unto the east country. Genesis 25:7. And these are the days of the years of Abram's life, which he lived 150 years. Genesis 25:8. Then Abram gave up the ghost and died in a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. Genesis 25:9. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar, the Hittite, which is before Mamre. Genesis 25:10. The field which Abram purchased of the sons of Heth, there was Abram buried, and Sarah his wife. Genesis 25:11. And it came to pass after the death of Abram that God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well Lahairoi. Genesis 25:12. Now these are the generation of Ishmael, Abram's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abram. Genesis 25:12. Now 25:13. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to their generation. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajot and Kedar and Adbil and Mitsam, and Misham and Duma and Massa. Genesis 25:14. Genesis verse 15. Hadar and Tema and Jetur and Nephish and Kedema. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by their towns and by their castles, 12 princes according to their nation. Genesis 25:17. And these are the year of of the life of Ismail, and 137 years. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people. Genesis 25:18. And they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest toward Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. Genesis 25:19. And these are the generation of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. That is Genesis 25:20. The daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. Genesis 25:21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Genesis 25:22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Genesis 25:23. And the Lord said unto her, Two nations are in the womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thee, Boaz, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Genesis 25:24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in the womb. Genesis 25:25. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So now we go into the Google and see who is Esau, because this is very, very important to know this thing. Now we're gonna bring this one here. We're gonna see who is Esau. I'm gonna put some pictures here. Who is Esau in there? So who is Esau in the Bible? So who is Esau? Let's put some pictures here. So Esau, actually is this is a picture of Esau here. Yeah. Esau is Edom. The way they brought this bill, let's see video. We can put video also. Why did God love Jacob and hate Esau? So we're gonna put this video here. Let me stop this one here. So we're gonna put this video here. We're gonna hear this video. Who is Esau? Why did God love Jacob and hate Esau? Let's hear this now.
Today's question is, why did God love Jacob and hate Esau? In this video, I'll answer that question from a biblical perspective. Then afterwards, as always, I'll share some helpful resources, so stick around until the end.
Wait a minute. Let's go to another video. There's some other video. Edomites descendants of Esau. Let's see here, because I know in the Bible, I'll read that. What he's going to read, I'm going to read that. No problem. But we're going to see who is Esau.
5 amazing facts you can learn from a Bible timeline poster. With world history, you can't learn just by reading the Bible.
Wait a minute.
Amazing fact number 1. Surprises in the overlap. The Bible lists ages of fathers and their death dates, but a timeline shows us how they overlap. Methuselah, the man in the Bible who lived the longest, died the year of the flood. Adam was still alive when Methuselah and his son Lamech, Noah's father, were born. Amazing fact number 2. Noah's son Shem was still alive when Abraham was born. Abraham could have learned about the history of the world from Shem, who learned about Adam on down from his grandfather, and then passed it on to his great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson, Abraham. The amazing Bible timeline with world history. It works like a clock. Starts with Adam, around to Christ at 6 o'clock, and then up to today, counting down to midnight and the return of Christ. Amazing fact number 3. Who came first? Beautiful Queen Esther or Daniel? They both lived during the Babylonian captivity.
Okay, this is a wrong
Esther's
video. Wait a
book is
minute.
first in
They're
the Bible.
talking another
She
things
lived
here.
nearly a century.
Wait a minute. They're talking about another thing. They don't talk about Esau, yeah? So, Jacob and Esau, the river twins, see you in history. Esau and Jacob. Let's see here, because let's see this one. Maybe this one it can revile us.
Everyone's just using the same Facebook ads to the same people to the
So
same
this is
funnel. And
this is
that's
an
what's
advertisement. We don't want advertisement now. In a moment. So we're gonna see.
Abraham, the great patriarch, was already quite ancient when he died of old age. Everything he had was passed to his son Isaac. He married Rebekah, with the intent to continue the lineage that God had promised to Abraham. But Rebekah was sterile, and the couple had no children. Isaac prayed to God, and he established his pact with Abraham's son. God affirmed Rebekah
Wait a minute,
would
wait a
give
minute,
birth
wait
to
a minute.
twins, and each
Wait a minute. I have an idea. I'll put some images first here. Wait a minute. We put some images. So let me tell you, Esau actually was not this picture what they're picturing here. You know. Esau was in this he looks like this. Not like the ones they're putting in the television, in the videos like this. No, Esau was like this, you know. And Jacob was a dark person, you know. But we're gonna prove it. Don't so worry. I just want to show you what they always change in the Bible, images changing, whitewashing, and all that, you know. So it's more important to be very informed, to know the information, because when you see this world, they are whitewashing the Bible, and that's the problem in the world today. You know, they are playing around with the Word of God, because Abraham is the seed of the children of Noah, you know. So the children of Noah, we have Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So Sam is the grandfather of Abraham. You know, I mean the old grandfather. And Shem, he was a dark brown person. So from Sem, all the children from Sem, they have to look like Sem. They cannot change, because the only person who is white in the Bible is Japheth, the second oldest son, or maybe it's the firstborn. I don't know. Maybe it's the second, because the firstborn maybe is Shem, or the firstborn is Japhet. So I think maybe we can go here and see the Bible dictionary. Maybe I'm going to find it here in the Google. Bible dictionary. I hope I'm going to find the Bible dictionary so that we can see which color is Ham, which color is Shem, and which color is let's look here. Maybe it's here. Bible dictionary are one of the most practical and useful theological reference books available. Search the Bible dictionary. The color of Shem in the Bible. Let me see, maybe I can research here, I can find one. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Let's go back. Let's see here, maybe it's this. Bible dictionary. Because Bible dictionary, you will get some answers there. You understand? The answers which people they hide. You know, so it's taking so long to reload here. So I don't know if I can search here. Shem, the son of Noah. The okay, let's see if it will come. I hope I'm in the right place here. I'm in the right. I think it's not here. Okay, but in the Bible dictionary, you will see the how they look, because it's not in the Bible. They didn't write in the Bible. You know how Shem he look, and how Japhet he look, and how Ham he look. They only write in the Bible dictionary how Ham looks like, which race he was, and how Japhet, which race he was, and how Shem, which race he was. Because they didn't write in the Bible. That's why many people, they don't know. You know, they didn't write it in the Bible. That is the problem. Dictionary, BibleGetaway.com. It contains more than 2,000 Bible and Bible-related proper names and their meanings, some Hebrew words. So let's see here. Maybe here. So I think I have an idea. I will go here to the video. I will go to YouTube. Maybe I will get there. maybe in YouTube I will get. So wait a minute. Maybe here I will get the video, and we're gonna put it here so people, so you guys, so you we can see. The the wait a minute. What are we gonna write? The color the children of Noah with their race in the Bible dictionary. So let's see, maybe we're going to find a video here, yeah, so that I'm going to show you that there's, so here, part 1, the sons of Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So we have here, maybe there's a short nakedness means in the things, descendants Noah in the Bible, and come on, descendant of Noah formed all the ethnic groups we see. Where do the rest come from? In the flood. The descendant of Noah, Ham's line. So here you see the Ham's line, okay? Okay, so let's see this video.
The number one reason why traders lose money is because they're acting on emotion.
There's some videos here which they can tell us. Let's hear this video.
All right, so now we're going to take a look at the historical children of Israel. So we get to
this is 5 minutes video.
Scriptures. So we will start off by looking at where the children of Israel came from. So we're going to look at Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We're going to look at some maps. We're going to look at scriptures. We're going to look at what historians say. We'll see artifacts, some archaeological findings that depict the children of Israel. And we're going to make a little conclusion. So, for those who don't know, when I said the children of Israel, I'm talking about an actual person whose name is Jacob. God changed him to Israel. He had 12 sons. Each son is their own tribe. And before we could get to Jacob, we have to look at Jacob's and his children's ancestry. So we have to go all the way back to Noah, the flood, the progenitors of the human race. 3 sons had Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, traditionally, in theology, we are taught and we assume that one black man can have an Asian son, a Caucasian son, and a black son, and that's how things happen. No! But we're also taught that Ham is the progenitor of the dark race. And what did we say about history and what we have been taught? So we're going to look at the Bible dictionaries, how the Bible dictionaries define Ham. We will also look at encyclopedias. So I'm going to show you a video, and the video does not
I hope you guys, you can see in the video very good, because maybe the video doesn't show it in the screen very nice, but I hope you guys, you're gonna see. Did you catch that? Ham's descended. So when you see here, for father of the Negroid race, but rather of people associated with Egypt in the end of the continent of Africa. The Egyptians thought of Canaan as one of their provinces even into very late times. Genesis 5:32, 10:6, pieces 105 to 23 to 27. Okay. So then we have here Ham, a son of Noah and father of Cush, Egyptian, Put, and Canaan. See further on each of these four, while they may have all been dark skinned, they were not the forefathers of the Negroid. Okay, here is, I do understand now. Who is the father of Negroes? So here you see in the dictionary, the father of Ham, they were descended, though dark-skinned, were not the forefathers of the Negroes. Okay, Negroes race, according to that book there. And this is a Zondervan Bible Dictionary. You can find all those what I'm saying if you think I'm wrong. Those are all Bible Dictionary. Bible Dictionary is telling you the race, where race came from, you know. So you see here, in Zondervan Bible Dictionary, page 213, is written again, Ham was the progenitor of the dark race, not Negroes. But Negroes, actually, they are also dark race, so I don't know who is the father of the Negroes now. So maybe the father of the Negroes is Shem, because Shem now is also dark. We all know that Ham's descendants were black because they were Egyptians, Libyans, Ethiopians, and Canaanites. A picture of Ham's descendants follows. This one here. So the nation of Ham, you know. So, and those sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim and Put and Canaan. Canaan is the one who was cast by Noah, not Ham, the father of these 4 children, okay? Genesis 10 verse 6, you can read there in the Bible, Genesis 10 verse 6. We read that already. So, but Ham descended Egyptians, Libyans, Canaanites, and Ethiopians are not the same people as the Negroes, African Americans, Black, West Indians, Brazilians, Dominicans, etc. Okay, this is what these Black Americans, the African Americans, they think, you know. This is what they think, you know. They think the ones who are slaves there, they are Shemites, not Hamites. This is what they always think. Bible dictionaries can be purchased often for less than 20 or Amazon. Come on, this is not so important. Okay, so maybe we have more videos, because here I didn't show more about Shem line. You know, because actually the Shemites, the line of Shem, black Israelites. So when you see here, they see black Israelites, they are the Shemites. This is what they are always doing that in America. You know, those black Israelites, they're walking around hating people, I don't know what. But it was not the real reason why people will take the mark of things. Tower of Babel, original race. Ham's sin. There is no sin here. You see, always this white Christian, they say Ham, he sinned. He sinned, but he was not cast. You see, that is the problem of our white Christian. You know, we just read the Bible, the one who was cast was not Ham. And the cast of Canaan, okay, they're right here. And the cast of Canaan, you know. Canaan didn't sin, but he was cast. So original of all the present of countries in the Bible. Okay, let's see now. Maybe this one will tell us something.
What Bible do you read? And how do you know it's the right one? There's only one version.
Okay, the original of countries in the Bible. Okay, let's see. Because
different types of people present today are the... In this video, I'm going to discuss about the different types of people present today are the lineage of Noah's three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the three sons of Noah who, along with their wives, were carried in the ark during the great flood. Their descendants went on to repopulate the world. Noah was 500 years old when he began to have children. If Noah had any other children, they are not mentioned in the biblical account. Only Shem, Ham, and Japheth are mentioned. Of Noah's grandchildren, 16 grandsons are named in Genesis chapter 10. God has left us ample evidence to confirm that these 16 grandsons of Noah really lived, that the names the Bible gives were their exact names, and that after the Babel dispersion, their descendants fanned out over the earth and established the various nations of the ancient world. Let's examine who were the ancient peoples, who were the lineage of those three.
so we have Shem here.
Start with Shem. They were Elam or Elamites, Asur or Assyrians.
And then it will end up to Abraham
Lud, Aram,
and
Moabites,
Isaac.
Ammonites,
It will end up
and
there.
Edomites. Elam is the ancient name for Persia, which is itself the ancient name for Iran. Until the time of Cyrus, the people here were called Elamites. Assyr is the Hebrew word for Assyria. Assyria was one of the great ancient empires. Arphaxad was the progenitor of the Chaldeans. His descendant, Eber, gave his name to the Hebrew people via the line of Eber, then Peleg, then Ru, then Serug, then Nahar, then Terah, then Abram. God changed his name to Abraham. Eber's other son, Joktan, had 13 sons, all of whom appear to have settled in Arabia. Lud was the ancestor of the Lydians. Lydia was in what is now western Turkey. Aram is the Hebrew word for Syria. The Syrians call themselves Arameans, and their language is called Aramaic. Now, we move to Ham's lineage. Ham's line produced the Canaanites, the Babylonians, the Phoenicians, the Cush or Cushites, and the Egyptians, and Mizraim. The descendants of Ham live mainly in
But Mizraim
Southwest
is an
Asia and
Egyptian. What are you
Africa.
talking about?
The Bible often refers to Africa as the land of Ham. The name of Noah's grandson Cush is the Hebrew word for old Ethiopia, from Aswan south to Khartoum. Josephus rendered the name as Cush, and says that the Ethiopians are even at this day, both by themselves and by all men in Asia, called Cushites. Mizraim is the Hebrew word for Egypt. The name Egypt appears hundreds of times in the Old Testament, and with one exception is always a translation of the word Mizraim. Phut, the name of Noah's next grandson, is the Hebrew name for Libya. Canaan, the name of Noah's next grandson, is the Hebrew name for the general region, later called by the Romans Palestine, that is, modern Israel and Jordan. The most prominent descendant of Ham was Nimrod, the founder of Babel or Babylonia, as well as of Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in Shinar. Now, let's move to Japheth lineage. Japheth's line produced the Persians, Scythians, and Macedonians. The sons of Japheth are Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshech, and Tiras. The Jewish historian Flavius Josephus records that the people who were called Galatians or Gauls in his day were previously called Gomerites. They migrated westward to what are now called France and Spain. Other members of their clan settled along the way.
So you have seen here, when I say Japheth was for Europeans, French, Spain, Macedonia, all those here in Europe, they all come from Japheth, and they're telling you here.
Josephus records that those whom he called Magogites, the Greeks called Scythians, along with Shem's son Elam. Madai is the ancestor of our modern-day Iranians. Josephus says that the descendants of Madai were called Medes by the Greeks. Later they were simply called Persians. Since 1935, they have called their country Iran. The Medes also settled India. Javan is the Hebrew word for Greece. Next is Tubal. Ezekiel mentions him along with Gog and Meshech. Their land, in Josephus' day, was called by the Romans Iberia, and governed what is now the former Soviet state of Georgia, whose capital to this day bears the name Tbilisi Tbilisi. Meshech, the name of the next grandson, is the ancient name for Moscow. The descendants of grandson Tiras were called Thracians. The Greeks changed their name to Thracians. Thrace reached from Macedonia on the south to the Danube River on the north to the Black Sea on the east. The people of Thrace were savage Indo-Europeans who liked warfare and looting. Tiras was worshipped by his descendants Sisera, or Thor, the god of thunder. We have only taken the briefest glance at Noah's 16 grandsons, but enough has been said to show that they really did live, that they were who the Bible says they were, and that their descendants are identifiable on the pages of history.
So, like the way I say, Japheth is the race of all Europeans in the Bible, they say, and Ham is for Africans, and Shem is for Middle East. You understand? Till Israel and Asia and till Middle East. You understand what I mean? So, and they have different kind of race. You understand? So when we read here in the Bible, because from Shem till to Abraham, from Abraham to Isaac, and from Isaac with his children, the children which they are now Jacob and Esau, you know, the children of Isaac, you know, which they were fighting in the stomach of Rebekah. So the children of Isaac, they are twins, but different kind of character, and they look different. So when I say Shem, because you know Shem, because Isaac is the grandson from Shem, because Shem was a dark brown person. He was not Japheth. He was not a European. You know, he was a little bit dark like Ham. Ham is dark, and we have dark brown, and then we have Japheth, the Europeans, which they are Greece, they are Romans and all that. This is the father of all Europeans, all Swiss people, Italian, Germans, Macedonians, Greece, Yugoslavia, all those in Europe you see today, they are the children of Japheth. You understand? So, and they also have another look. You understand? So, from Shem also have another look. It's a little bit dark brown. Brown. You know what I mean? He don't look like Japhet. You understand? And not so 100% like Ham. So it's very, very important to know this history so that we can know, because many people, they don't know who are they in this planet. There's so many Europeans, they don't know who are they, where they come from, who is the father of Europeans, they don't know. But we saw it already in the Bible, who is the father of European. The first European in Europe, the first human being, the first European is Japhet. Without him, there is no Europeans in this world. So we have closed this table. So the way I want to say is I want to continue here with a little bit with the Bible here. Like I tell you, like Esau. We are now in the book 25, Genesis 25, because Esau. So let's say now, let's go back. Genesis 25:23. Yeah? Genesis 25:23, it says, wait a minute. Genesis 25:23. This is what the God said to this woman, which she will marry two different kind of son. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in the womb, and the two manner of people shall be separated from the bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So we have the younger is Jacob, and the older is Esau. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, they were twins in the womb. So you see, they were twins, like the way I say. And the first came out red. You understand? He came up red, with red hair, with, he came red. It was not dark, a little bit, but he was red, And after that came the first came out red, all over like an hailing garment. And they call his name Esau, And after that, in Genesis 25:26, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 70 years older when she bare. So when you see here, these children now, Esau and Jacob, God loved Jacob. He didn't love Esau. Esau was, he was very, very, he liked war and all that. He was so negative. Esau was somebody who is very positive, and that's why God, he loved Jacob. So I'm going to stop from here, because we're going to continue from here, because here we're going to stop from Esau and Jacob. That is Genesis 25 verse 26. We're going to stop here. We're going to continue next time. The next video, we're going to continue from here. And so I want to tell you that we're going to pray now in the Father God, the Father who is in heaven, the Father who said, let it be a light, it was light, the Lord of Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac, as in the book of John, chapter 1, verse 1, is written, in the beginning was the Word was God, the Word was with God, the Word became flesh and lived among us. As in the book of Ephesians, it's written that we don't fight against flesh and blood, but against the rulers of darkness. Me as Combo Abel, I thank you, Father God, you give me power, you give me strength, you give me wisdom in my life. You open the doors of successful in my life, the doors of financial, the door of job, the door of getting house, not getting kundigong in the house, the doors of in my life to have my own house, to have my own field and my own things. So I'm begging you that you protect me as every day when I do video, you protect me, give me strength, protect me from sickness, protect my son Lewis, protect my family, my friends, in the blood of Yeshua's name, amen. So I thank you that you guys, I thank you that I thank God that I've done this video, and this video will go viral in the blood of Yeshua's name, amen. So I thank you guys. Have a good time, and don't forget to read the Bible, because it's your history. It's your history which you need to know. Yeah. So see you guys, and have a nice day.